Welcome to part 3 of my Passport to Pretty Jolly Holiday Workshop. We're going to talk about Nutty for Nuggets, and the star of the show is going to be the Hershey's Nugget. There's so many ways that you can package these, but there are two great ways with Stampin' Up! Products you can make them look amazing pretty much any time of the year. I'm going to start with this cute little Matchbox. It's a Stampin' Up! Die. It opens up, and I've wrapped each one of the nuggets in a 1-inch wide by 3-inch strip of Designer Series paper. All this paper is from the Jolly Holiday Designer Series paper, so it's beautiful. And of course, there's always two sides to choose from, and if you get the paper, I love it. You can certainly make it look different instantly by just flipping the paper over. So let's get started. I'm going to start out with making the base of this box, and it's going to require a Big's XL die. The sandwich for the Big's XL die starts with an acrylic pad or cutting pad, and it's an extra long because this is an extra long die. And then I also, because every Big Shot's a little different, have the tension set. I've experimented. It's perfect with these two thin shims. They're little acrylic sheets that come with the crease pad, and another piece of cardstock. That's how I got it so that it cut and scored perfectly for me. On top of that, I have the actual die. And you can see this is the area for the base of the card. And up here is the outside cover that it slides into. And over here are some additional tags. So it's a really versatile, probably my top selling XL Big's die because it is so versatile. So I'm going to throw this all back together again. And I've got my Big Shot on the side here. It's really difficult to show you the Big Shot because I don't have a very big area here, but I am going to set it off to the side and cut it. And a little song and dance here on the side while you're waiting. Great results, and you can produce a lot. I did favor boxes for my nephew's wedding. It was a smaller wedding. We did about 50, but they look so pretty with the nuggets inside. So here is the finished result. You can see that it's scored. It perforated here, so I'm going to be able to bend things in very simply, and it cut this perfect little box out. So the next step, honestly, is to start folding things in. I like to fold from the outside and go all the way around. Then I take it the next step. Don't ask me how I roll on this. This is just sort of my method. I get things down kind of to a way I like. Then there's little tabs that you're going to also want to play with. This one's going to go in, and this one, actually they're both going to come out like that. My apologies. Sometimes I do it just all by habit, and I know exactly what I'm doing. So you are supposed to technically be able to fold this without using any adhesive. That's not what I have found. I like using a little sticky tape on these two wide side tabs just as a little insurance policy. So I'm going to show you my way. Even though it does go together pretty well on its own, I still like just that little extra insurance. And I know when I first got this die, and I have used it a lot, I found that it was kind of tricky to put it together. So I'm going to show you how easy it is. It's really not complicated. These little corners that bend in, they're perforated, should come in just like this and come down. That's done. Okay? You're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold those little guys in. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to fold those little guys in. And see how they're behaving for me. And they're going to come in. Good. Okay. Now all I have left to do is fold these sides in. I monkeyed with this so much when I first got it. And I can certainly kind of score and make it look a little cleaner if I want. But that's how I put my Matchbox together. The next piece, and you can see how that looks. The next piece essentially is the second part of the Big's XL die for the cover. I've already cut it, and as it did with the small box, and it's a little tougher to see, it actually has cut the shape and also, has also set the score lines. So it's very easy for me to work with from here. And all I need to do is attach these two areas, which I'm going to actually do with a little bit of sticky tape. You'll notice that I'm using what I call my gunky scissors. I have them marked so I remember that I use them for things like adhesive and glue and don't have to worry about cleaning them every time. So those are my, welcome to my gunky scissors. And I'm going to layer this on here. When you're working with 3D, sometimes I can get away with using the snail, but most of the time I don't want any kind of wardrobe failure. So I like to work with sticky tape because it's not going to go anywhere. So there's essentially our cute little box. How cute. You know, and it's not just about nuggets. These are adorable. Let me make sure I've got that adhered. These are adorable for, how about a gift for Christmas time, jewelry, or even a little, I've seen people send little tags in them so people can have them for their own little Christmas presents. You could fill it at Valentine's Day full of little hearts or other assortments of candies. So it's pretty cool. I really like it. Next, I'm going to doll it up a little bit with some ribbon. And I'm going to use my glue dots, which I'm looking for. It's like a surgical table here. You don't see all this that I've got behind the scenes. And so that I can have everything all ready for the video. And I am going to put just a little bit of ribbon on this. I like putting, you can put it this direction, but because people can leave the pretty bow on, I tend to do it this way. I'm going to wrap it around. And you know just how much to cut now. I won't waste any ribbon. I'm going to put one more dimensional on there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to line it up, keep it nice and tight. And it looks pretty good. Ann Shack of my downline finally taught me how to make a decent looking bow. I'm a knot girl. I do knots on everything. I'm comfortable with knots. I avoided bows like the plague. So on the workshop video, I'm not going to take credit for coming up with this, the way to do this pretty little bow. A link to her video is on there. So I'm actually going to attach this bow with some more glue dots. Thank goodness for glue dots, huh? Just love them. They work great with buttons, and they really keep things in place. So, little trick for you, if you slide it out, then you can get a nice grip and punch it down so you get a good, you can actually grab on, and you've got a pretty little bow. And that looks good from there, but I've got to use my tags till Christmas. So let's start with that next. I'm going to use this tag. It's ultimately going to look like this on the nugget box. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to start out by inking it up with Old Olive. Let me see. You know what? It's not transferring as well as I'd like. So I'm going to do it the way I've shown on other videos. I'm going to do it the reverse direction just to make sure I've got every little inch covered nicely. And I'm going to stamp it on some very vanilla cardstock. And off to the right, because I'm going to be punching it. And that's how I roll. Here is our decorative label punch. One of my absolute favorite things out of the Holiday Mini, because it makes such a beautiful shape. I'm just lining it up. There you have it. I also pre-cut, I stamped it, and I wasn't trying very hard to make it pretty. All I care about is the number 25. And I'm using one of our new ovals. It's the 3/4 inch by 5/16 inch oval to pop out just the 25 on here. I found that was easier than trying to use two colors. So that's what we did. I'm going to use a little bit of snail, pop that on there. cover up the 25. And I've got a 2-color tag, and it wasn't a whole lot of work, which is always fun. I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile. I'm going to use the small size setting to pop in a little eyelet. Makes the perfect hole. These are the metallic eyelets by Stampin' Up. If you haven't used a Crop-A-Dile, and you have used eyelets before where you have to pound them in, you'll realize very quickly that the Crop-A-Dile is so superior. It's easy and it's quiet, which is very, very nice. I have this set to actually squeeze down, and we have set an eyelet. How easy is that? I'm going to grab this. And you know what? I could have done a little bit better job here lining it up, but you know what? I'm live, so we're going to go with it. Here's what it's supposed to look like. See? Nice, clean. Okay, just so you see that and recognize that I see it too. This silver cord is retired from Stampin' Up. I wish it wasn't retired because I still like to use mine. You could use, if you only want to use current product or you can't find some other silver cord, you can always, I'm going to slide this on through. You can always use some linen thread. Our linen thread's really easy to work with, and it gives a pretty look also. I just felt like silver, so I went for it. I'll shuffle that around because I do like the bow. I'm so proud of my bow. I have to make sure you see it. Okay, there we go. And I like to kind of clip, as long as I've got the knot nice and tight, I can go like this. Now some people like the knot back in and behind. That's fine. That's just your call. And so I'm going to fill it with nuggets. Isn't that just too cute? 4 nuggets, as I said before, fits in here perfectly. See that? I swear it was custom made. And I wrapped each nugget again, as I said before, in a 1" by 3" piece of Designer Series paper. And I will show you that actually in the next, I'll say that it's part B of the Nutty for Nuggets videos, where I'm going to show you a neat trick to do with the petal card punch. Talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me.